Okay, so for surfers, you know, most coastlines feel pretty mapped out these days. Photos, guides, everything online.
Yeah, it feels like there's nowhere truly unknown left.
But there are still frontiers,
Hmm.
places where maybe the perfect wave exists, but getting there, that means stepping into somewhere with basically zero infrastructure, no maps, no guides.
Exactly. And that's what we're diving into today. One of those spots. The south coast of Haiti.
A real uncharted territory.
For sure. And this is based on the findings of John Seton Callahan and the surfEXPLORE group. They really went into the deep end here, places like Aquan, the Baie des Anglais.
And geographically, Haiti's south coast should be good.
Oh, yeah. Potentially amazing. It gets consistent swell, pretty powerful stuff from those Caribbean high-pressure systems. And importantly, from hurricanes that track south of Hispaniola.
So the potential's there. You got different kinds of waves too, right? Beach breaks, river mouths.
Offshore reefs, the whole variety. And it's relatively close, to the huge surfing population on the U.S. East Coast.
But almost nobody goes. The sources point out, like no surf guides, surf maps, or other information. It sounds, well, intimidating. A blank canvas.
Totally. If you want to find out what's there, you literally have to be the first. And our deep dive today pulls heavily from their experiences, which are chronicled in this new book.
Ah, right. That's surfEXPLORE, discovering new surfing locations worldwide.
Yep, by John Seton Callahan, and it's published by Schiffer Publishing. It details exactly this kind of expedition.
So our mission here is to follow their journey, understand the sheer logistics of being first, the waves they actually found, and maybe some of the really intense cultural stuff that happens when you go off the known map.
Definitely. It starts with the planning. You can't just rock up whenever.
No, I bet.
Yeah.
Especially for an unsupported trip like this.
Precisely. Timing is everything. They deliberately aimed for June.
Why June specifically?
Well, the idea was that's the best window for consistent trade wind swell. Plus, you hopefully get those favorable east to northeast winds. Offshore.
Right, the magic combo. Clean conditions, reliable waves.
Exactly. So they land in King, and the first problem isn't waves, it's just how do we get around?
They needed a boat immediately, right? To check out the offshore islands and caves.
Instantly. Once they sorted that out, they headed for a place called Grosse Caye.
And getting there wasn't simple either.
No, they had to navigate this channel that was actually cut through mangrove swamps. Pretty tricky.
But they found waves.
They did. Straight away, several fun waves. So, okay, the potential is real. The hunch paid off.
What's really telling, though, is the local reaction.
Yeah, get this. They asked the villagers on Grosse Caye if they'd seen surfers before, and the people were just baffled.
Like no clue what they were even talking about.
Apparently. Just shows you this place sees hardly any outsiders at all. They were genuinely in virgin surf territory.
Which is amazing. But that kind of isolation, it brings other challenges, right?
Yeah.
It's not just about waves and logistics.
Oh, absolutely. As soon as you're interacting on the mainland, you step into a whole different world. Which brings us to that supply run back in Aquin.
Okay, set the scene for this.
It was after dark, raining. Emiliano, one of the team, is driving a motorcycle. Their guide, Yanushka, she's Haitian but grew up in New York, is riding on the back. They're just going to get water, biscuits, basic stuff.
A totally mundane town.
Until it wasn't. They're going slow on this wet road, and suddenly there's a man standing right in the middle of the road.
Okay.
And he's holding a big metal crucifix. But the detail that chilled them, according to the source, his eyes. Shiny silver with no pupils.
Whoa. Okay, that's unsettling.
Unsettling is putting it mildly. Anushka just screamed, don't look into his eyes. They swerved around him and just got out of there fast.
And that reaction, don't look into his eyes, that's tied into local beliefs, isn't it?
Deeply. In Haitian culture, there's this profound fear associated with zombies. And the belief is that making eye contact with one, well, it brings on a terrible curse.
So for Yanushka, this wasn't just some creepy guy on the road. It felt like a genuine spiritual threat.
Exactly. And this is crucial for the kind of exploration they were doing.
Yeah.
The team didn't just brush it off like, oh, that was weird.
They took it seriously.
They had to. They respected the local reality. The takeaway was, if a local Haitian tells you they saw a real zombie, you operate as if they saw a real zombie. You factor that belief system into your risk assessment, whether you personally believe it or not.
That's a heavy thing to factor in. Okay, so respecting that, they press on. Next day, the target is Ile Vache, Cow Island.
Right, further west in the Baie des Anglais. This place is a bit different, apparently mentioned for resorts, some development, some maybe, slightly easier logistics.
Maybe. But logistics always seem to have a twist in this story.
Tell me about it. They get a boat sorted, but it comes with this interesting addition to the team. An American boatman. Friend of Russell, another team member.
Okay, an experienced local boatman.
Well, American. And mysterious. He apparently just casually mentioned he'd been involved in CIA-funded black ops in Haiti, stuff that was still classified.
Wait, what? They needed a boat driver and ended up with someone claiming secret agent status. In Haiti? That sounds like a massive red flag.
You'd think so. It's kind of wild. But maybe that's the reality when you're operating so far off the grid. You take the resources you can get, even if they come with baggage.
I guess so. Did they find waves at least? There may be spy boatman.
They did, and it was the best setup they found yet. A left point break, just beautiful, on a little uninhabited island near Ile Vache.
Describe it.
Long head-high lefts wrapping perfectly around this reef point, and the wind was ideal offshore northeast. Just a dream setup.
Okay, so dream waves on an uninhabited island. Why was it uninhabited? There's always a catch.
Oh yeah, sandflies. Vicious, bloodthirsty sandflies.
Not just a few, I take it.
Millions. The sources describe the videographer and the narrator just being swarmed, covered in hundreds of bites, hands, ankles, face. Super itchy, super intense.
So intense that nobody lives there.
Apparently, that's why it was empty. Nature provides the perfection, but also the defense mechanism.
Right. The price of admission. And the problems didn't stop with itchy bites, did they? Heading back.
Oh. As they're heading back towards Ile Vache, right around dusk, the engine seized.
Oh no, just stopped.
Worse, a horrible grinding sound, metal on metal. The big 200 horsepower outboard was just gone, dead in the water.
Stranded in the Caribbean at dusk. Not good. What happened? Did they hit something?
Human error, pure and simple. Remember the boatman? The one with the alleged CIA past?
Yeah. Don't tell me.
He forgot to mix the oil with the fuel for the two-stroke engine.
Are you kidding me? Basic maintenance. That's unbelievable. Especially out there.
Incredible, right? Such a simple mistake, but in that environment, it creates a potentially life-threatening situation. No power, no sails, no oars, just drifting.
What do they do?
Well, Russell gets on the phone, talking Creole, trying to raise someone. He eventually gets hold of a boat captain from a resort.
Okay, rescue on the way.
Sort of, the catch. The resort captain didn't know how to use GPS.
Seriously, how do you coordinate a rescue at sea in the dark without GPS?
Very carefully. They had to try and describe landmarks, use visual cues. They ended up bundling their mobile phone flashlights together, trying to make a beacon so the rescue boat could even find them.
Wow. So the rescue boat eventually finds them.
Yeah, finally. They get the tow rope secured.
Yeah.
Huge relief, right? They think, okay, heading back to Port Morgan on Ile Vache.
But. There's always a but.
The captain, navigating purely by sight in the dark, towed them to the wrong island.
He missed.
Completely. Towed them to some other random spot in the Baie des Anglais. They had to explain, no, that way, which meant correcting course and delaying everything. They didn't get back to Port Morgan until after 10 p.m.
Let me get this straight. Zombie scare, sandfly attack, engine seizure due to negligence, near impossible rescue coordination, and then getting towed to the wrong place. It's quite a day.
Quite a sequence. Apparently, the staff back at Port Morgan were very understanding, though. Heated up food for them and just found the whole story pretty entertaining.
Maybe just another Tuesday in remote Haiti.
Could be. It speaks volumes about the kind of challenges that are just normalized there.
Okay, so after all that, they still had another part of the coast to check out. Port Salut.
Yeah, final leg. They got back to the mainland at Les Cayes, then headed towards Port Salut. There were rumors of unsurfed left points there, too.
And did they find them? After everything else, did persistence pay off?
It did. They found more great waves, actually some bigger stuff near a river mouth. Looked like a really good setup.
And the local reaction? More bafflement.
Evidence of being first, again. A big group of kids came down to watch that they'd absolutely never seen surfers there before. Confirmation.
They really pushed the limits of exploration, didn't they? Driving down towards Tiburon until the road basically vanished.
Yeah, it just deteriorated into a track only suitable for motorcycles. Logistically, that was probably the absolute limit.
And that area, the really remote part down by Tiburon, it has a deeper cultural significance too, right?
Very deep. These villages are known, or at least rumored, to be places where voodoo is practiced very seriously. Strongholds of powerful voodoo priests called ungans.
Wow. So you're not just at the end of the road geographically, you're potentially entering a space with really profound ancient beliefs.
Exactly. The sources mention this belief that the old gods, the spirits from Benin and Togo in West Africa, were brought across the Atlantic during the slave trade like 300 years ago.
And in these isolated pockets of Haiti.
The belief is they still reign supreme. You're stepping into living history, a powerful spiritual landscape alongside the physical one.
So reflecting on this whole expedition, what are the big takeaways? What does exploring Haiti's south coast actually demand?
Well, the waves are clearly there, exceptional uncrowded waves. But accessing them requires incredible logistical toughness, resilience, and maybe even more importantly, a real deep respect for the local culture, the beliefs, the spiritual systems you encounter. You can't just ignore it.
It seems like there's this constant tension they navigated.
Definitely. It's the modern desire, find the perfect empty wave colliding head-on with communities where these ancient beliefs, whether it's zombies or voodoo spirits, are just part of present-day reality.
And success means accepting that whole picture.
I think so. Accepting Haiti on its own terms and realizing that sometimes the biggest risks aren't the waves, but maybe the unpredictable human elements, the logistical failures, the things you can't forecast.
It really makes you think. Even now, with satellites and the internet, how many places are still genuinely undocumented like this? Places you can only understand by putting boots on the ground, taking those risks.
It suggests the world map might still have some fascinating, maybe chaotic, blank spaces left to explore. A pretty powerful thought.
It really is. And if you, listening, found this journey fascinating and want to get deeper into these stories from John Seton Callahan and the surfEXPLORE group,
You definitely should check out the book. It's called surfEXPLORE, Discovering New Surfing Locations Worldwide.
published by Schiffer Publishing. And you can find it easily online, places like Amazon, Barnes & Noble.
W.H. Smith, Kinokuniya, lots of major booksellers carry it. It's full of these kinds of incredible first-hand accounts from all over the globe.
Definitely worth looking into if this kind of raw exploration captures your imagination.